Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle, a podcast where a pair of amateurs haphazardly dissect a film that one of us likes and one, well, not so much. I'm Simon, and I'm joined in our shed by my good friend and submarine lover Carl, where we will be pitting the last 16 movies we have covered against each other to determine an overall winner. Unnecessarily complicated rules and game mechanics ensue. It's the Movie the Needle Tournament Special, Round 3.
No, I take the point. It is complicated. But we are trying not to just rerun the same discussions we've already done.
Oh, yeah,
on the podcast
I'm on board.
Proper.
Yep. Just being upfront with the listeners.
Yep, so we're trying to introduce a level of competition that doesn't have us restating the same shit we've already done.
And as I said, as we were speaking, this would be wonderful if it was completely visual, so you could see the things as they were happening. But, dear listeners, I'm afraid you're going to have to listen to a lot of us giving top threes and rankings of things that you are just going to have to remember. So if you watch this in a darkened room...
Pen and paper, that'd be mine.
I was going to say a darkened room and, really get your visual thing going there. But yeah, pen and paper would also work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pen and paper. Play along at home. You can't play along at home.
Just shout abuse at home. That's
it won't work.
The usual way.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go.
So, Carl, this is the end of the third block of 16 movies, which... Were you ever sure we were going to get to 3 blocks of movies in the same format?
No, it looked, after the first block, when we set off earnestly, thinking this will be a piece of piss, we then realised, we're going to run out of films. I didn't think we would. But actually, as we've been talking more, we're probably going to get to the end of the 4th block.
Yeah, we've pretty much got the 4th block planned out there, which I might actually put out there just to see, so people can see the kind of films that are going to be coming out in, maybe not in order or anything, but you can kind of see where we're coming from with that, which is always liable to change, of course. I was thinking as well, we should really change, because we talk about blocks. No one talks about blocks. We need to just change to seasons, don't we?
Yeah.
We need to go through and update
this is season 3, isn't it?
I might do that during some airport time, which I think apparently is a place where time stands still based on the amount I've planned to do whilst I'm at the airport. I don't really know how I'm managing to get through all of this, but we'll see.
Yeah. Really disappointed in it when you just went for a shit instead and killed.
I had a couple of beers.
Yeah.
And listened to a podcast.
Yeah.
Not this one. And before you knew it, I was on the plane.
Yeah.
And then slept. Oh.
Yeah, fair enough.
You been watching any movies?
I've watched some movies, yeah.
What have you been seeing recently?
I watched Avatar.
Oh, did you?
Watched with the eldest, and she loved it.
That was one that I was thinking I need to watch with Thea. I should watch with Thea. That would be a good one to do as well.
Yeah, well, she absolutely loved it. So,
and you,
if that's anything to go by, it was way better than I thought it was going to be. Way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be absolute dog dirt. It's not good. I mean, is it not good? It's not great. It's honestly a puzzle as to why it took so much money and took so long this time.
Why part of it? Why it took so money?
What is that?
3D.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he did do that.
It was a big deal with the 3D.
Right.
Huge. People were going to see it. The tickets cost more. All of this. It took a lot of. It took a lot of money because it was gimmicky with the 3D thing.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't gimmicky. It was like, this is 3D done how 3D should be.
Now, my wife backed me up on what I'm about to say, which made me feel better, because an apparently controversial opinion I hold is that the CGI is dog shit. I nearly laughed out loud when they brought the Avatar out of the tank. I couldn't believe how bad it looked. And of course, they do get away with it for most of the movie because it's like 90% CGI, and it is just CGI against CGI. So it doesn't look. I don't think it looks good. I think it looks like a cartoon or an animation or a video game. It doesn't look like a film.
Yeah, you're not in the real world.
Whenever there's a human on screen, it's jarring. I'm like, oh Christ! I mean, it's 2009, but surely CGI was better than that.
That's what I was just looking up, the year that Avatar actually...
But people love it. They go gaga for it. And I'm like, come on now. They look awful. The avatars look, or the Na'vi, they look awful.
It's not one that I've really watched anytime soon. And I know I need to, and I need to watch the newer one as well. at
Yeah,
some point.
I'll watch that now because
So this might be
Alice
the
is
this might be
desperate for
the this might be the window in to watch it with the child.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a bit of
No,
an experience.
So it was way too long as well. It does devolve into sort of a bit of a damp squib, silly
2 hours 42.
war film. Yeah, but it's not. But the first sort of hour and a half moves along at quite a pace, quite good world building, way more watchable than I thought. Way more watchable than I thought. I can't overstate that enough. I thought it was going to be terrible. So yeah, we'll now watch the second one without the impending sense of dread that I had because we sort of loosely penciled this in to watch for a thing at some point.
Yeah.
So it was a pleasant surprise.
Always good to see Giovanni Ribisi.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was sort of in keeping with some of the silliness. Whereas I thought the script rather let down Sigourney Weaver.
What's the MacGuffin thing that they're after? What's it called? It's
I
called.
can't remember what the rock's called.
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium. That's it. Yeah. It really makes a mockery of serious actors. This script, but
which I did completely mock at the time. Unobtainium. That's ridiculous. And I'm thinking if they did find something now,
maybe
it's exactly what they would call it.
Yeah, maybe. No, so that was for all the flaws I think it has. That was a pleasant surprise, Avatar. Then I watched a film called Ripley's Game.
Okay,
Did you know there was a sequel to The Talented Mr. Ripley?
I did not.
I thought you were
going a thing. You had Sigourney Weaver in Avatar, then you were going Ripley's Game. You were making that link.
No aliens, no.
This is a sequel?
Yep. Starring John Malkovich as Tom Ripley.
Oh, this does actually ring a bell now.
No, that wasn't as good. It was only like 3 years after the Talented Mr. Ripley, yeah.
I've not seen it.
Yeah.
But not as good as Talented Mr. Ripley.
No,
I'm shocked.
Yeah. No. I mean, it was all right. It was pretty watchable, pretty daft, but yeah, not as good. Then I finished my Mission Impossible run.
Ah, yes. So a bit of Fallout.
Fallout was good. Yep.
Fallout.
Doesn't quite hit the highs of Rogue Nation for me.
Is Fallout the one with Henry Cavill?
It is, yes.
Does he recharge his arms?
He does. He reloads his fists.
Reloads. Yeah.
Good scene, that. Good fight scene.
It wasn't scripted. Wasn't planned.
Yeah. So that was good. Then I rewatched Dead Reckoning.
Yep. What did you make of Dead Reckoning?
I went to the cinema to see that. I liked it at the time. I feel like this time I liked it more, and I actually slightly underrated it.
Oh, good.
So I bumped that up a little bit. And then Simon, I've been to the cinema.
Have you seen it?
Went to see Final Reckoning with a wife.
Wait, did you go? First of all,
went to the IMAX at Kirkstall at Leeds. Yeah.
Nice.
So we had a bit of a date yesterday.
Yeah. How was the IMAX, first of all, before you get to the film?
Good. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, we booked all the seats at the front, which were the big leather recliners, they'd gone.
Yeah.
So we booked the next row, which are some shitty recliners, which only recline. So you sit in them and they just fall back.
But you don't.
I don't want that. So we moved to some cheaper seats, which were just upright, which were still perfectly comfortable.
Yeah.
But had I known that at the time, would have saved myself £8, but there you go. So no, the IMAX was good. Enjoyed going to that sort of film at the cinema. You know, that's what you want. But it does mean now I can give you my Mission Impossible ranking.
Oh,
would you like it?
Yes, hit me with it.
Would you like to guess? You just want me to give you it from 8 to 1?
I think
I'm going 8 to 1.
I think your number one is going to be Mission Impossible.
Oh, are you going 1 to 8?
Yeah, I might mix and match around a little bit.
Okay, yeah, my number one is Mission Impossible.
I think your number 8 is going to be Mission Impossible 2.
My number 8 is Mission Impossible 2. And do you remember why?
Because it's dog shit.
Ethan Cunt.
Oh, yeah.
Ethan Cunt. He's terrible. He's horrible in that, Ethan Hunt.
Yeah. So then, I think Rogue Nation's your number 2.
It is. The first McHugh one, Christopher McQuarrie, really nails it in terms of tone and watchability and pacing. It's a real ride, Rogue Nation, for me.
And then I'm going to say your 7th is going to be Mission Impossible 3.
No, that's number 6.
Close. I was on a run. Okay, which means it would be... What would be your 7 then? Fallout? No, Ghost Protocol. No, this one, the new one.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, make your own mind up, and it's all relative. We're slotting this in somewhere rather than. It's got some issues, as they all have, to be fair. But no, it doesn't quite come to the heights of some of the others. But then maybe it's one of those where I'd rewatch it and go, oh, actually, slept on that a little bit. But yeah, watch it. Go to the cinema. It's definitely a cinema film.
So fill in. Do your
so number
one.
One down. Mission Impossible. Yeah. Rogue Nation. Completely different. The 2 to 8 are completely different from Mission Impossible. They might as well not be sequels.
Yeah.
And of the sequels, Rogue Nation is my favourite. Dead Reckoning sneaks in just above Fallout. Fallout, by the way, probably got the best stunts in the franchise. Probably got the best set pieces. Very good. Ghost Protocol after that.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that Macquarie, Ghost Protocol?
Yep.
Yeah, that's his second one. Oh, actually, is that?
No, is that good?
Is that his first one? And then, yeah, it could be his first one. And then for me, he peaks at Rogue Nation. MI3, Final Reckoning, MI2. So 1, Rogue Nation, Dead Reckoning, Fallout.
Brad Bird directed.
Ghost Protocol, which is Brad Bird, we now know. MI3, which is J.J. Abrams, Final Reckoning, and then MI2.
My fart noise was at J.J. Abrams, not.
Is that because he's wronged you in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
No, Star Wars.
Oh, is it? Oh, yes, you've said this before.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go. That was fun.
Oh, good stuff. Well, I don't have to feel guilty about maybe going to see that tomorrow then. Yay.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do. You go for it. Yeah, you should definitely take the boy as well. It's the right sort of film to go see.
Yeah, see the last film in a series first. That's how you should always do it.
Doesn't matter.
You'll probably get a kick out of going to see a 12A at the cinema as well.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Cool. What have I seen? So I have seen. What have I seen? I hear you ask.
Yeah. Oh, they're all clamouring. But Simon hasn't told us what he's seen yet. So I wonder what Marvel Cinematic Universe film he's watched this week.
Well, I went to the cinema to see one, the newest one, Thunderbolts, asterisk. A significant improvement on recent Marvel releases. It's still not up there.
I was only joking.
It's good fun. Then another Marvel-y one that I've seen at home, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, pretty fun stuff. Enjoyed that. Theo enjoyed that one as well. It's a funny one. And then, as I mentioned to you, Carl, as I was doing my rankings for this, I was watching Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason that Emma was watching. And I was just like, can I say that I've watched this? I've literally been present the whole time. I've been listening to it and largely watching it as well. I'd not seen it before.
I have seen that film. I think you've got the gist.
Yeah, it's predictable, like Tosh.
It's no Chinatown. Let's put it like that.
No, it's not. I didn't need to concentrate. No. I think I saw all the beats come in.
Yeah.
Was fine, but sure, go for it.
Yeah, good.
So just those 3 this week.
Yeah.
So Carl, I'm going to hand over to you to
Yes.
explain to the good listener how the hell this bracket thing works, because we're doing it slightly differently to the previous 2 that we have done.
So the bracket, as always, is split into 2 halves of the draw. 8 films that you have liked this season.
Sure.
8 films that I've liked. Only the season was slightly split in your favour. You had 9 that you liked and 5 that I liked to make up for last season.
Bad maths, 9 and 7.
Yes, 9 and 7. Yeah, I know that. Thank you. So I've stolen Chinatown because, as we know, if you listen back to that episode, I came in hot for that right from the off. I rewatched it. I'd got it all wrong. I couldn't lie. So I've stolen Chinatown. So the draw is balanced like that. Instead of us rerunning the same argument we've already run on the pod, what we're doing this time, in our 3 categories still, is we are ranking these 16 films.
Cast, production, and plot.
Cast, production, plot. So I have a ranking, 1 to 16, and I've slotted the films in as to who's got the best cast and who's got the worst cast. I've done the same for production. I've done the same for plot. So have you. They will come together to make a score. Don't worry about that. It doesn't matter. We'll talk through that as and when.
There were limitations on our rankings, right?
And there were limitations just to make it a little bit interesting. So you can't have the same ranking across a category for the same film. So we can't have After Sun. After Sun is a film I adore. I couldn't say that was 1 in cast, 1 in production, 1 in plot. the best I could do was 1, 2, 3. I've got to move those around. You can't have the same thing. I can't even have 1, 2, 1.
Yep.
Can't happen. So we've mixed it up just a little bit. So we've ranked those. They're going to get a score. Then they go into the hat, and then they get drawn. And that first round, basically, it's been predetermined, but the draw will pull the trigger.
Yep.
When we move through to the next round, which will be the quarter-final, we have some wild cards. We can each play 2 wild cards. One of them is worth 10 points, so we'll boost this score every film by 10 points. One of them is worth 5 points. The twist is we have to play those wild cards before the draw is made, which may mean by the time we get there, they might not be in play. And those scores, with the addition of the wild cards, will see us through the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. And then when we get to the third place playoff and the final, we will revert back to our rankings. And we will see who has scored their film the highest. So, for example, if we're talking about After Sun, against, I don't know, what do you think your front runner is on your side of the draw?
I don't know. I've not really given it any thought. I kind of just did it pure.
Let's say Gone Girl. You love that.
Let's say Gone Girl. Yeah.
So it's After Sun versus Gone Girl. We'll who gets a point for cast? I'll go. Well, I ranked After Sun as number 1 in cast.
Yep.
Where did you rank Gone Girl? And if you've gone, say, number 5, I'll win. 1's higher than 5, you see. I mean, technically it's lower, but
for the purposes of this, yeah.
And then we'll repeat that for production and plot, and it'll be 2-1 or it'll be 3-0, and we'll crown a winner. And you'll pick up the rest as we play.
Yeah, and don't worry, because Carl will have to repeat it for me, because I'll forget it halfway through and have to reiterate what's happening.
Yeah, so there we go.
Okay, well,
before we run through the rankings,
let's get to the most important thing of today, which is, of course, to unveil the ale.
Right, so because this is a competition, a bracket, a tournament, whatever you want, and we might have done this beer before as well, but this is a Wold Top Brewery.
Oh yeah,
Wold Gold.
Scarborough
Gold, you see, for winning. No, yeah, but it's the Wold Gold. Gold, because we're going for gold, aren't we? Yeah.
Gold. Yeah, thank you. Oh, it's a marmalade porter.
Yeah, well, what it is
you didn't get that beer out. Is that the different beer?
No. What it is Asda assure me that this is the same as Wold Gold.
So a golden ale, which is what.
I ordered Wold Gold, and they said that's unavailable. Well, don't worry, you can have this. This is the same. So they've sent us a substitute.
Marmalade is quite
which is
golden.
The Wold Top Marmalade Porter.
Marmalade's kind of golden.
Yeah, porter
Gold
though.
Colour. Porter's brown. So that's going to be some of your films.
Yeah. Well, okay, bit of a dig. But so, yeah, in spirit at least, this is Wold Top Wold Gold. But Asda insists that this marmalade porter is exactly the same.
We'll see about that. All right, so let's get to giving a little sneaky peek of what our top 3s in each of the categories are and our bottom 3s.
Yeah, it's not that sneaky because we're going to reveal the lot very shortly afterwards. Matter of seconds.
Yeah.
All right,
let's start with cast, shall we? Okay, Carl, what was your top 3 in cast?
My number 1 for cast, in my opinion, the best cast of these 16 films is in After Sun. After that, you're looking at Chinatown. Superb. And then The Big Short. Love that. Big ensemble piece.
Well, Carl, what I've gone for is
I know, I can
in number 1, Chinatown number 2, and The Big Short number 3.
I can see that, yeah.
So
it scored well in cast.
Wow, yeah.
What about your bottom 3? Maybe we're different there.
Maybe. Okay, so my bottom 3, I've got third from bottom, Da Vinci Code, then Kick-Ass with Escape Plan at the bottom.
Okay. My bottom 3 is Kick-Ass at 14.
Yep.
Bullet Train at 15.
Okay.
And you'll love this. 16, Gone Girl.
Gone Girl! Get out. That's crazy low.
We said we weren't going to repeat the episode, but Ben Affleck, lol, Rosamund Pike's like a robot. The lawyer's a tool. What's his name? Barney out of How I Met Your Mother's completely miscast. It's a joke of a film for casting that. Absolute joke of a film. Right. So my full list of casts. So from 1 to 16, best cast to worst cast, in my opinion. After Sun, Chinatown, The Big Short, American Made, Four Weddings and a Funeral, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Casablanca, Into the Wild, Moulin Rouge, American Beauty, Up in the Air, Da Vinci Code, Escape Plan, Kick-Ass, Bullet Train, and Gone Girl.
Okay, so
What's yours?
mine, After Sun, Chinatown, The Big Short, Casablanca, American Beauty, Monty Python and Holy Grail, Up in the Air, Four Weddings and a Funeral, Gone Girl, Moulin Rouge, Bullet Train, Into the Wild, American Made, Da Vinci Code, Kick-Ass, and Escape Plan. I may have done American Made a bit of a dirty here.
I know, the big TC, what are you doing to me? Yeah, I mean, American Made's the only one I'd pick out there that I would say is particularly egregious, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we move on to production?
Production, yeah.
All right, so production. Now, production's always a funny one for me, Carl, because it's always what are we concluding here? Obviously, it's how it looks, how it sounds. Got that. Sometimes we include screenplay and script in there as well, but sometimes it can fall into plot a little
Ultimately,
bit.
we don't know what we're doing.
We don't know what we're doing. We have made that abundantly clear over the last lots of episodes. But what's your top three?
My top three: American Made at number one.
That's crazy.
Love all of that about that film.
Crazy.
All the things you've just said, I love it in that film.
Crazy.
After Sun at number two.
Okay.
Chinatown at number three.
Oh, we've got none that match in our top three.
Oof.
So I've got Casablanca number one, Monty Python number two, and Into the Wild number three.
So my bottom three: Moulin Rouge number 14, Kick-Ass number 15, and Bullet Train number 16.
So I've got Bullet Train number 14, Escape Plan number 15, Da Vinci Code number 16.
Fair enough. My full list then: production, best to worst. American Made, After Sun, Chinatown, The Big Short, Into the Wild, American Beauty, Holy Grail, Casablanca, Gone Girl, Da Vinci Code, Four Weddings and a Funeral, Escape Plan, Up in the Air, Moulin Rouge, Kick-Ass, and Bullet Train.
Oh, you really are doing a dirty on the Up in the Air as well. Okay, mine are Casablanca, Monty Python, Into the Wild, Gone Girl, Chinatown, Up in the Air, After Sun, The Big Short, Moulin Rouge, American Beauty, American Made, Kick-Ass, Four Weddings, Bullet Train, Escape Plan, and the Da Vinci Code bring up the rear.
Listen again, mostly fine. You've gone way too high on Gone Girl. American Made, you've done dirty again. That is a really good looking film.
Yeah, but it's one of the major bits I had a problem with.
Well, you said that at the start. You'd sort of didn't notice it on rewatch. If you remember what you actually said, you said I didn't actually notice it on rewatch.
It's fairly middling though. It's like 11. It's not like it's right at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we move on to plot. Top three.
Now, surely we've got the same number one here at Chinatown.
Chinatown number one.
Yeah. My number two. You'll like this. It's American Made. I love what I ride that film is. Absolutely love it. After Sun, number three.
Okay, so I've got Chinatown, Gone Girl. You'll love that.
Yes.
And Casablanca at number three.
Look, I can see Casablanca, Gone Girl. Lol. Right, my bottom three.
I think I know where my wild card's going.
Yeah, bottom three is Bullet Train,
Okay.
American Beauty, and Into the Wild.
Okay, I've gone Kick-Ass, Da Vinci Code, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, there's some similarities here, isn't there? So
There's some.
my in terms of plot, my list from best to worst: Chinatown, American Made, After Sun, Escape Plan, The Big Short, Casablanca, Four Weddings and a Funeral, Da Vinci Code, Holy Grail, Moulin Rouge, Kick-Ass, Up in the Air, Gone Girl, Bullet Train, American Beauty, Into the Wild.
Into the Wild for plot. Oh, harsh. That is quite low.
Don't like how it cuts around. Don't like how it fails to explore what a twat he is.
Okay, fine. Okay, for my plot, so we've got Chinatown, Gone Girl, Casablanca, Up in the Air, Four Weddings and a Funeral, After Sun, Monty Python, American Beauty, American Made, Escape Plan, Into the Wild, Big Short, Bullet Train, Kick-Ass, Da Vinci Code, Moulin Rouge.
My only real issue there is Gone Girl. Up in the air, maybe a bit high, but okay. Well, this is kind of exciting because now they've got a score.
Ooh.
Now, how this score is calculated is not really important.
As long as it's done fairly, Carl.
Yeah. It is done fairly. Of course it's done
I was going to say, that wasn't a great big assertion that it was fair
No.
for a second, but you backed up, well done.
And what the scale is doesn't matter. But I can tell you that Chinatown is at the top with 85.4. After Sun 79.2, Casablanca 69.8, The Big Short 63.5, Holy Grail 61.5, American Made 58.3, Four Weddings and a Funeral 49, Gone Girl 44.8, Up in the Air 44.8. Oh fuck, we've got a tie. I've not thought about that. That'll be interesting. American Beauty 43.8, Into the Wild 42.7, and then there's a real drop off. We go Moulin Rouge 29.2, Escape Plan 27.1, Da Vinci Code 21.9, Kick-Ass 15.6, and Bullet Train 13.5.
Right.
Bring it up there.
All right.
So there we go. We've got a score, but before we drop these into the draw to complete the first round,
Just so
where
it's
do you want to put
completely
your
fair,
wildcards?
can you put them somewhere I can see them so I can then actually make the informed decision? Thank you.
Oh, the scores?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay.
Okay, so now we've all seen the scores, both of us, and we are ready to pick our wild cards. So one film can get 10 points, one film can get a 5-point boost. Only applies in the quarterfinals
And the semis.
to the semi-finals. So, Carl, which are you going to give your 10-point boost to?
I'm going to give my 10-point boost to American Made.
No, for fuck's sake. Okay. All right, okay. All right, I'm going to change my tactics here.
Oh, right. Oh, that's dirty. That's really dirty.
I'm going to give my 10-point boost to Casablanca.
Okay. So who are you going to give your 5-point boost to?
To Gone Girl.
My 5-point boost is going to After Sun.
Oh, okay. Not sure it needs it.
Well, I'm not sure Casablanca needs it either.
I know. I just need to make sure I've got something in the top, like,
well,
echelon.
Yeah. Okay. Ready? Well, no, because you're guaranteed because of the halves of the draw.
Yeah,
you're guaranteed 2 things to the end.
I know, but I need to make sure the one that gets there has got the best chance of getting there. That's got, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Right. Fair enough.
That's my front runner.
Yeah.
I think.
All right.
We'll see.
So the draw.
Yes.
Now, those of you that are super sharp, you Rain Men out there, when I say the name, you'll be able to recall the score, and you'll know the outcome of these before we say them. But first train out of the hat is Bullet Train.
The first train out of the hat?
Yeah, the first movie out of the hat is Bullet Train. That's not going to do well, is it? And it's against Gone Girl, so, I mean, I don't remember the actual scores, but safe to say Gone Girl's going through there.
So we're doing my half of the draw, is that what we're doing?
This is coming first. So Into the Wild is next.
Yeah.
And that's up against Moulin Rouge.
Okay, well, okay.
Fairly sure I know which way that was
Yeah,
going as well.
same, yeah.
Up in the Air is up against American Beauty.
Okay.
Ooh, could be tight.
Close one, yeah.
Casablanca.
Yep.
Is up against Kick-Ass. Well,
Okay.
that's a
Well,
full
that's a
conclusion as
full
well.
conclusion. Good.
So over to my half.
Not too
of the
much
draw.
drama in that half.
No, Four Weddings and a Funeral is up against The Big Short.
Again.
It's interesting. After Sun. Please not Chinatown. Please not Chinatown. He's up against Chinatown.
Yeah. Oh, Battle of the Big Dogs.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And After Sun doesn't get its boost there.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
For fuck's sake.
Okay, next one.
Holy Grail.
Yeah.
He's up against Escape Plan. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's okay. Which means the final two are
American Made.
Carl's booster against
The Da Vinci Code.
Okay, well, that's safe. You're getting your boost in the second round at least.
Fucking hell.
All right, so how do we want to do this?
All right, so the first matchup is Bullet Train with a score of 13.5
That's pretty low.
versus Gone Girl with a score of 44.8. So Gone Girl goes through to the quarterfinals.
Comfortable with that? I think, with Bullet Train,
Bullet Train's shit, mate.
I enjoy Bullet Train. I like Bullet Train. However, when you break it down in each of these categories, it's difficult to put it above some of the others. So, which is reflected in its fair low bottom score. Is that was it?
Yeah, I think Gone Girl's not very good either, but it's definitely better than Bullet Train.
Yeah, I mean, you've underrated Gone Girl, and I think as Kira had said in some feedback, I was battling back with very logical arguments, and you were having absolutely none of it. Hated that film from the get-go.
I think logical using that word when describing Gone Girl is a bit of a joke, to be honest, but there we go. The next matchup is Into the Wild versus Moulin Rouge. So Into the Wild has a score of 42.7, Moulin Rouge 29.2.
Okay,
so
that's fine. That's probably
Still goes through.
the stronger one that is going through. Moulin Rouge again. It was always going to struggle in this being the type of film that it was. Some great performances, casting pretty good, I thought, with that one. Into the Wild, it's a weird one to I found it a difficult one to score throughout all of these categories. To be honest, I think production I scored it highest. In there, just because of the music, and there were some beautiful shots within that, and it was a well put together film.
Yeah, I could see that. Now then, Up in the Air versus American Beauty. 2 scores in the 40s here. Up in the Air, 44.8. American Beauty, 43.8.
Oh, so Up in the Air goes through.
Yeah.
Beats the Oscar winner for Best Picture in 1999.
All right, matchup number 4. Casablanca versus Kick-Ass.
I think I know where this is going.
69.8 to 15.6, and Kick-Ass sails through. No, Casablanca.
Look, a plucky underdog that Kick-Ass is all the way. It was always going to struggle in this. Again, similar to Bullet Train in a way, in that it's kind of fun and kind of enjoyable. Admittedly, I found it less fun and enjoyable on rewatch when we were doing this. So I think, if I recall, my needle did move.
I think it did, yeah, actually. I think it did.
Yeah.
Okay,
over to the other side of the draw then.
Other side of the draw, match 5. 4 Weddings and a Funeral versus The Big Short. 4 Weddings gets 49. The Big Short gets 63.5.
It's a big short through. I mean, the cast of these two, great in different ways. So Big Short is just stacked, right? 4 Weddings let down by Andy McDowell. Just a real wooden piece in a round hole.
I mean, I still put the cast at number 5 in my list.
Well, I marked mine down.
8.
I marked mine down solely because of Andy McDowell, that she was the prime reason for that film being as low as it was. Yeah. So I couldn't really look at myself in the mirror if I didn't mark them down on cast.
We were very close on 4 Weddings, looking at our rankings, and indeed we weren't that far apart when talking about it. It was just I could see past it and like it and enjoy it, and you thought she was a cunt, and that ruined your whole enjoyment.
Yeah, pretty much well summarised.
Okay.
So what film went through there? Sorry,
that was The Big Short went through.
Big Short went through. Yep. Okay.
Here we go. Match 6.
Oh, the big one.
Just ruined my evening. After Sun versus Chinatown. After Sun at 79.2. A monster score put out by Chinatown. 85.4.
Oh, yes, the big dog is out. Oh, I'm quite disappointed by that, because I do like After Sun is one of those where I will encourage a lot of people to go watch.
It's still on iPlayer?
Still watch it. It's back on iPlayer. It'd gone and it's come back. Yeah. So watch it on iPlayer. It's definitely worth a watch.
All those angry emails I sent. They've paid off.
Yeah, it's a hell of an achievement. It's well worth watching. But Chinatown is a classic. That was a tough draw for After Sun.
Yeah, it's a classic. All right, so match 7. The Holy Grail, Monty Python the Holy Grail versus Escape Plan. Holy Grail 61.5, Escape Plan 27.1.
I mean, I think Escape Plan is punching above its weight with the 27.1 there. Probably recovering on its casting and its plot, because it's got the 2 big stars, and the plot is actually a fairly decently written plot, even if putting it together was a bit shite.
I rated it low on cast, honestly, because obviously you've got Arnie and Sly brilliant, but Arnie absolutely steals the show. Sly is not amazing in that.
And everything else is a bag of shite.
Production is pretty low, fair enough. I scored it very highly on plot. I liked that was trying to do something a little different.
See, I marked it low on cast and production, but middling on plot, which had a semi-decent, semi-coherent plot.
Yeah, it was never going to challenge the big guns in this.
So bye-bye Escape Plan.
So that takes us to the final matchup of the first round, which is American Made versus The Da Vinci Code. And we've got 58.3 for American Made, and Da Vinci Code gets a score of 21.9.
Most of those points coming from Carl's voting for American
Listen,
Made. It has to be
you
said.
moved your needle on American Made. I don't know where all this American Made hate's coming from.
What did I move to? Like,
Yeah, you moved to a like.
I guess what I'm struggling to see is like, look, it's a nice film and stuff, but like you're putting it up there against some pretty huge
Oh,
films
nonsense!
in here.
Listen, I'll admit that the 5-star rating I'd given American Made before was slightly overexcited. Right, I'll admit that. But cast-wise, it's basically 90% the big TC, and the big TC.
Hey, Schaefer's there.
Oh, yeah, we both like Donald Gleason. The casting for the Colombians was mostly made up of Latino and some Colombian actors.
Yeah.
That's great. You know, the supporting cast for the bits they had, brilliant. And then the big TC.
I've done American Made a bit of a dirty on my cast ranking here. I will admit that is a bit of an error. I should have moved that one up.
Yeah. I know you said you had an issue production-wise that you then reneged on the pod, but whatever. And then plot, it's just a ride. Anyway, it goes through. So, we are now into the quarterfinals.
Yep. So the wildcards get applied.
The wildcards get applied. So
we needed like a clever sound effect to apply the wildcards there.
Yeah, what would you have? Make it with your mouth now. So you've just imitated the sound that the speaker makes when it switches off.
Yeah, that would be a great noise for it to make. Let's just do that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Do it again.
By the way, I've got to say,
do it again.
you imitated it very, very well.
Just do it again. So now it's time for the wildcards to be applied.
It's going to be different when it switches on.
Wait.
Not that.
Oh, you want it the off sound?
Yeah, the sound you made.
No, that's it. That's a negative sound.
That's
it
the
needs to
sound
be a
you
positive
made, you
sound.
pillock.
Yeah, but that's not the one I meant to make. No, I think this one's better. This one. Yeah, that's the wildcard being applied.
Okay, yeah, we'll edit that together.
You're not going to, are you?
No.
No.
So, right, match 9. Gone Girl versus Into the Wild.
So this is my half of the draw.
No wild cards at play here.
No.
It's a tight one again. Gone Girl, 44.8. Into the Wild, 42.7.
Oh, Into the Wild's out then.
Into the Wild's out.
Oh, yeah, I scored it very highly on production. It lost out on the cast and the plot for my votes. Gone Girl, though, that got its boost. That was what saw it through, was it?
No, it didn't. There was no wild cards in play for this.
Why not?
Because I forgot to add the 5 points on for Gone Girl.
Oh, okay, right.
Didn't need them. It went through anyway. But let's not forget that for the semi-finals.
Good stuff. So it didn't need its wild card, but it got it anyway.
Yeah.
And through it goes. Okay, good stuff. Right, okay. Come on,
Where did I put
Go on, Gone Girl.
Into the Wild?
Go on.
So I put Into the Wild number 8 for cast, very middling, and then 5 for production. It's a very good production, but bottom for plot. So
yeah, it's the plot was the main difference there.
yeah.
Okay, buy Into the Wild.
All right, so matchup number 10. We have got Up in the Air versus Casablanca. Casablanca has got another 10 points.
Yeah, comfortably through.
Doesn't need it because even without that wild card, it's 44.8 to 69.8. So Casablanca goes through.
Up in the Air. I do like Up in the Air. I've scored it highly across. So I've got 7 in cast, 6 in production, 4 in plot. But it's not. Casablanca's even higher than that in each of the 3 categories for me. And then you're not a big fan of Up in the Air, but you came round to Casablanca a little bit on that one.
Yeah, no,
so
I shifted.
Yeah, you moved the needle on that one. Yeah. Up in the Air, there was no shifting going on there, was there?
There fucking certainly was not. The thing with the Casablanca thing is, you know, I have just a very particular dislike of Humphrey Bogart and certain guys, and that gets in the way. The rest of it, we were pretty well aligned on Casablanca, and I think that's reflected in the scoring.
But Casablanca's through. Another wild card which wasn't needed, but hey ho.
Right, the next matchup.
Hold on, Carl. Before we get to the first matchup, we need to apply those wild cards. Hold on. Let me push the button. Wild cards applied.
It's the hold on that makes it for me. That's the. I love the professionalism in that. Yeah.
Hey,
all right.
These wild cards can't be applied like that. This is
it's not nothing,
system.
is it? Yeah. Okay, so we're looking at The Big Short versus Chinatown.
Big Short versus Chinatown, you say?
No wildcards. because my fucking wild card on After Sun's dust.
What was your second wild card on again? Just remind me.
My first one was on American Made.
Oh,
for
yeah,
plus
yeah,
10.
of course.
So The Big Short is 63.5, Chinatown 85.4, Chinatown sales through.
That's funny. So I've been left post our Big Short thing with a fairly positive view on
You
Big
moved
Short.
your needle as well. The Big
Yeah.
Short,
I can't remember, but yeah, it's yeah.
I think it's a very rewatchable film, Big Short. I think you can bob that on when you just want a bit of a ride again.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Okay, so the last one in the quarterfinals then is. Yeah, easier said than done, it. There we go. Holy Grail versus American Made.
So another one where when I think back and I just go, how do I feel about Holy Grail? Again, overwhelmingly positive thought in my head when it comes to it, just because it is such a little fun film about it.
You were wrong. It happens. You were wrong. I was right. So the score pre-wildcard, Holy Grail 61.5, American Made 58.3.
But devastating.
That lovely little 10 wildcard going to American Made there.
Effective wildcard for you.
Sees it go
How do you feel
through
about
to
seeing?
the semis.
Yeah, but how do you feel about seeing Holy Grail crash out at the expense of it, though?
No, I really, really like American Made.
Oh, I thought Holy Grail might have had a chance. If you put that to the popular vote, I feel like Holy Grail would be a front runner.
We spoke only in 2 weeks' time about
2 weeks ago.
No, it's not 2 weeks ago, is it? Because that episode comes out. No, you're right.
2 weeks
this
ago.
This is the episode that comes out afterwards.
For a man who loves Tenet, you really do struggle with the concept of time.
I keep telling you it doesn't matter. just let yourself experience it. It's a visceral experience. It's a set-piece bonanza. What more do you want? Yeah, so...
but anyway, that means...
The wisdom of crowds, nonsense. Forget about it. That was
so
the
it means
point.
American Made
through.
goes through to the semi-final.
Yeah, it does.
Where its bonus still does apply.
It does. So, that brings us on to match 13.
The semi.
The semi.
In the good half. Which is definitely the weaker half.
So you've got Gone Girl versus Casablanca.
Yeah.
You've obviously got a wild card on Casablanca.
I do, yeah.
Doesn't need it. Honestly, don't know why you put your wild card on Casablanca.
Just making sure it got to the final. That is it.
Yeah, but it was the strongest film in your half, so it was always going to get to the final. Unless you put your wild card.
the purposes of the wild card.
yeah. Unless you put your wild card on something that was you could have then taken it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But to be fair, you didn't know that. To be fair, because you hadn't won the draw, so.
If it was the top, was it always going to win everything?
No, because Casablanca has a score of 69.8. So if something had a score of 60 and you put your plus 10 on it,
yeah,
it would have knocked Casablanca out.
Yeah,
and you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I was playing it safe. That's what I was.
That's
doing.
what you were doing.
Yeah,
you were a safety first kind of guy.
That's it.
Safety first kind of guy.
Yeah, double wrapped.
Yeah. Oh dear. So many jokes, a little time. Okay, yeah. So Casablanca goes through.
Hold on, Casablanca.
Which of course puts Gone Girl into the third place playoff.
Oh, I don't like its chances.
No, neither do I. Okay, so
over to the other half.
But it doesn't work like that. Remember, we'll get onto that.
Oh yeah, good point. I mean, it still don't like its chances.
No. So the other semi-final, Chinatown versus American Made. Yeah, my wildcard's doing nothing here because Chinatown has a score of 85.4 versus American Made's 58.3.
Excellent.
So Chinatown goes through.
Both of my films into the final.
Technically, they are both of your films. Yeah. But I will not be arguing with Chinatown at all. So that gives us a third place playoff match between Gone Girl and American Made.
Well, this is not looking good for Gone Girl based on your scoring system that you've come up with for this.
Well, we'll see about that. And Casablanca Oh, yeah, because of how highly I've rated American Made and everything.
1, 2, and 3, basically.
Yeah. And Casablanca versus Chinatown, which is, well, we already know which way that one's going to go.
Big dogs.
No, we already know which way that one's going to go as well. Do we? Ooh.
No, we don't necessarily. This one's interesting.
All right. Third place.
Let's do the third place boring playoff first.
Gone Girl versus American Made.
So I ranked Gone Girl like a sane person.
So cast first, then.
Yeah. So you're doing this based on where I am versus you ranked your film. So where you ranked American Made, if that's higher than where I ranked Gone Girl, then you get the point.
That's right.
Okay, 3-0 then.
Is it actually 3-0?
I imagine so.
So for cast, I put American Made at 4. Where did you put Gone Girl?
9.
It's 1 point for cast. It's 1-0 to American Made. For production, I put American Made at 1. Where did you put Gone Girl?
4. Which is high, by the way.
What you have to remember as well is we had that rule of they can't all have 1s across the board.
I understand. That's why it's not 1 across the board.
So American Made, I did not originally have as number 1 in production.
Oh, I just thought you didn't mean you have it as
2 or
1
3,
in cast.
but then ended up having to move it up as I was jiggling around. I always had it at 4 for cast. I mean, come on. The big TC. What are you talking about? That's 2-0. So unassailable. But for plot, I had American Made at number 2.
And I had Gone Girl at 2. So we get
it's 2-0.
a tie.
Yeah,
so
2-0.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No points for a tie in this game.
No, so
American Made claims the bronze medal.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? That's fun.
Yep. Give it to Tom Cruise. You can put it alongside his Oscars, can't he?
Casablanca versus Chinatown, then.
Your film, for the purpose of this, is Chinatown. Mine is Casablanca. So, Carl, where did you score for cast Chinatown?
Simon, you were worried. You thought Casablanca didn't have a chance. I've scored Chinatown on cast as number 2.
Yep.
And where
As
have you
did
put
I.
it?
But Casablanca, I've scored it 4.
Yes, of course. I was looking at the wrong film. So that's 1-0 to Chinatown.
To Chinatown. Yep.
Production.
Wow. Okay. Where did you score Chinatown for this?
Number 3.
Well, I scored Chinatown number 5, but I scored Casablanca number 1.
So that is 1-1.
It's 1 also. This comes down to the wire.
Unfortunately for you, it's plot.
Yep.
And as we both agreed,
number 1.
The best plotted movie in this draw is Chinatown at number 1.
I also scored it at number 1, but I scored Casablanca number 3. Still high, but not high enough to save Chinatown, taking a 2-1 lead and the title for the season 3 champion of the 16 films. It moves forward into the Champion of Champions draw, which will take place after the 4th season.
I'm absolutely delighted at this because we've got Chinatown, which I know technically is your film, but fantastic film, taking the gold. The silver, Casablanca. Sure, yeah. If something's going to come silver, and it has to be one from your side, Casablanca.
I agree. Yeah.
Number 3, American Made. Oh, it's a victory for the working man. What a film! What a ride that is. Slept on. Fantastic. Yep. The only stain on this tournament, and it does go forward to the champion of the champions, is Gone Girl, coming in number 4. What an abomination. But there we go.
Good. What did you make of the how the new system worked there, Carl? Did you enjoy
it? Much more fun than the fucking...
It was shorter.
Other 2. Yeah.
So there is that. Is there any final comments you want to make on anything that we've covered?
I don't know if American Made's still on Netflix, but go watch it.
I think it probably is. So I think in terms of recommendations that I think people should definitely go see if they've not already. And also obviously listen to all the episodes. But Chinatown, go see it.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic film. I would say also Casablanca, if you're against black and white old films.
Like you are.
Like I am apparently, then this is one that you will, it is genuinely excellent. The quotes and things that you can get out of this, you will recognise a lot of the quotes that have just penetrated common popular culture. So go see that. After Sun as well, that's on BBC iPlayer for all those UK-based folks. Yeah. And I don't know if, I guess
what
that's
a casualty that
thing
was.
You should, yeah, that was a definite casualty of the draw. I scored that 1, 7, and 6. You scored it, I think, higher than that in 3. So
if it had have come through the first round, After Sun would have gone to the final because I put my wild card on it.
But well worth watching. American Beauty, if you want to revisit that one and reassess, then that's always fun to do, and then listen to our episode. And then The Big Short, I think I'll call out The Big Short as another one to give a watch if you've not. The cast is fantastic on that, and although I did have some problems with it, I think overall well worth your time. And then, if you want some enjoyable tosh, there's some in there for everyone. There's Escape Plan, there's Kick-Ass, there's Moulin Rouge as well. If you're into the musical side of things, don't bother watching Da Vinci Code. It's absolute bobbins.
I can't argue.
Don't waste your time. But yeah, it's a good mix of films for this season. I enjoyed covering a lot of them. Always good talking to you, Carl. Anything else from you?
Nope.
Alrighty, so that is all we've got. So if we move the needle for you, or even if we didn't, please do rate us, follow, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It really does wave our arms at the algorithm and get us out there to a larger, more existent audience. Our Twitter, Instagram, and Bluesky is MTN Movie Pod. Our YouTube channel is at Movie the Needle. You can also find our page on Facebook and some occasional TikToks at movie.the.needle. All details are in the show description, so please do follow and comment wherever you are. So from me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
That brings an end to our third block or season, if you will. Remember that if you are new to the podcast, all other episodes are much better, and you should listen to all of them multiple times just to make sure I am right. And if I'm wrong, we do offer a full money-back guarantee. Goodbye.